Welcome back to part 13 of Pokemon Yellow, where we've finished faffing around with Silphco and all that malarkey, all that pointless bollocks really, and now we're going to be working our way towards Saffron Gym, which is the Psychic Gym. And Stephen, how do Psychics function in the Gen 1 metagame?
Too good. Too good for their own right.
So, in terms of weaknesses in this generation, it's just Bug and Ghost, isn't it?
I can't recall if they're weak to Ghost or not in this.
I know part of the difficulty there is that all the Ghost types in Gen 1 are also Poison types, so they are still weak to Psychic.
Yep.
But yeah, Psychic, if you've got a Psychic type on your team, you've basically won this game, really, haven't you? Because it wasn't until Gen 2 when Dark type came in that there was really a proper resistance to it, is there?
Plus Steel are resistant to it as well.
Yeah, that's something. Have you got a favourite Psychic type, Chris?
Well, Alakazam just comes to mind. Probably. I'm trying to think of others. Probably just Alakazam.
Alakazam is a really fucking cool design. I do think it's a shame how KADABRA sort of got screwed over in the trading card game, because there hasn't actually been a KADABRA card in over a decade now, and that's off the back of Urigella getting his fancy in a twist about it looking like him, using the fucking spoons and shit. I think it was a combination of that and the lightning bolts on his chest and that. He thought they're making me look like a Nazi. And Urigella is completely deluded. Yeah. We just quickly went past the copycat there. She is just a NPC. She imitates what you say. She's either the copycat or the mimic. She gave us the mimic TM in exchange for a Pokédoll. But yeah, Stephen, what's your favourite Psychic type?
Probably Mewtwo. I just love Mewtwo.
Of course, it's a legendary, you scrub.
Yeah, I know, legendary, it's really powerful, but I just really like Mewtwo.
Admittedly, there's not really that many to go around in Gen 1, is there? There's Alakazam, there's Hypno, and their respective pre-evolutions. There's Mewtwo, Mew. What else is there? There's SLOWBRO.
Yeah.
Are there any others in Gen 1?
Nope.
Yeah, so I suppose at least it is kind of the rarer type, although given, especially Hypno is pretty accessible early on. I think it's the little patch of grass to the right of Diglett's Cave where you can catch a Drowsy.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can get one pretty early on, and you get the TM Psychic from Mr. Psychic in Saffron, so you can just completely murder everything that isn't a Psychic type.
Oh yeah, I'd also just like to say quickly that in one of the previous parts where I said about Mega Rayquaza being broken, that it got its own tier, I'm only talking about that fan group Smogon.
Oh right, yeah.
Because they create their own tiers to balance it out. And of course, because of Rayquaza being so powerful, they had to make their own tier for it.
Yeah, that is great. I wonder what will be the Pokemon that overtakes it in a future generation. What would that look like?
The only possibility I can think of overtaking it is if they ever made a even stronger form for Arceus.
I was thinking that, Mega Arceus or whatever.
Just like they have some item that has Arceus gain its powers over creation and whatever.
Turn Judgment into a Z move or something.
Oh god.
That could be pretty hype, couldn't it?
I mean, granted, you can sort of do that, but it just changes it into the Z move or whatever element it is. But if there was a proper Z-move Judgment.
Anyway, our Ivysaur has now evolved into Venusaur. I kinda like Venusaur, but I think it's the least interesting of the three.
Yeah.
It's gotta be in it.
I remember the base set trading card for Venusaur had this really useful ability. I think it was just called Energy Trans. And what that'd do is it'd let you move your grass energy around all your Pokemon. So, if you've already got your team set up, you've been powering up your bench, just putting in energy on each of them, and then you can play your Venusaur. You can easily just move all your grass energy onto the Venusaur, and then it's ready to go, as soon as it shows up in play. And there was a similar kind of strategy that was going around during the Advanced Generation, like during the EX series, and that involved Dark Dragonite, because Dark Dragonite could move around the Darkness Energy, which at the time were purely special energy. I don't know why they did that in the EX series. Like, Dark type never had a basic energy card, you could only use the special one, and that meant you could only have 4 Darkness Energy in your deck at once. And so you'd need something like to manipulate the energy, like Dark Dragonite. I forget the name of the Pokebody, but you could do that just to move it around, and so Darkness Energy became that bit more valuable. And during the Team Rocket Returns series, that was when there were quite a lot of cool strategies. Like, I remember one deck was like Dark Dragonite, Dark Electrode. It might have been, and I remember there was one also that was like using a similar sort of thing with Blastoise EX's energy movement, energy powering up thing, which was Lugia Blastoise Steelix. And I remember that one because it was always abbreviated to LBS, and I will call it the Pounds deck. But yeah, that was my little tangent. Mr. Mime, because he's on screen. What do we think of that Pokemon that may or may not be shagging Delia Ketchum?
Oh god, no. I don't mind Mr. Mime. Granted, he looks creepy in X and Y onwards.
Yes.
Especially if you've got your Mr. Mime out against another Mr. Mime, because then the view of the battle changes if you just leave it there for a while.
What's he doing in X and Y?
He's just sort of miming that there's a wall there, and he's got a permanent smile on his face, and he doesn't blink.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy.
I remember there was that one still frame I've seen, a screen cap from the Sun and Moon anime, where it's just Ash sort of looking, not begrudgingly, but like sort of disapprovingly toward Mr. Mime while his mum's there, and it's like someone had captioned it with that moment when you realise Mr. Mime's been shagging your mum.
Oh no.
Let's think about it though, it's either Mr. Mime or Professor Oak. Which one's more horrifying?
Rather it be Oak, because at least bestiality isn't involved.
Well, Mr. Mime's human shape.
That doesn't count. It doesn't count.
But yeah, given the gym we're in, I believe in Gold, Silver and Crystal, since they introduced genders, when you go to fight Sabrina, her Mr. Mime is female. How does that work? His name is Mr. Mime.
I don't know.
Because I believe that Mr. Mime does have a gender-neutral name in Japan, but so when you consider it in context of him being called Mr. Mime, it's nah.
It's the fact that in the anime they say their names, so...
Mime, Mr. Mime. That's such an annoying voice, I can't be honest. When did Delia actually get that Mr. Mime? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I feel like it's sometime just before an episode with Moltres in it.
Maybe. I think it was like from the original series, wasn't it?
Yeah. I remember an episode where there were 2 Mr. Mimes and they build up a wall around Team Rocket, I think.
Yeah, I don't really remember much. Like, there were these little series of episodes toward the end of the Indigo League that I just really don't remember much of at all. Like, I remember the fucking Pokemon League arc, but the odd random fillers and that, they sort of just blur together for me. But then that's filler episodes in Pokemon in general, really, isn't it? There's a lot of them, and a lot of them sort of go nowhere.
It's kind of weird, though. In Pokemon, it sort of implies that there are people with psychic abilities.
Yeah, there always
rather
have flying
odd.
these Pokeballs, you mean,
Yeah.
like just there.
Yeah, the Sabrina episodes in particular, do you remember those?
Not really, no.
Oh, they were some fucked up fever dream sort of shit. Like, Sabrina had a doll of a little girl who she would communicate through. She wouldn't talk to anyone, she'd just communicate telepathically through this doll.
I think I remember this, Chucky or something.
The father, I remember, was desperate to like get her to come out of the shell, but her thing was that anyone who would lose to her Kadabra, like in the gym battle, she would turn them into dolls.
dark.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's some fucking, like, voodoo shit, possibly, isn't it, going
I
on there?
swear that's what one of the villains in JoJo did. There's two of them.
Wasn't it in...
The Darby brothers.
Oh, yeah, the Darby Brothers, yeah. Although we don't... Like, Sabrina, unfortunately, doesn't have that F-Zero clone that she makes them play, which is quite unfortunate. That was a fucking great arc on there with the Darby the Gamer. Yeah. Like, that one thing, like, Jotaro admitting that he didn't really play video games and Joseph mugging him off about it. Like, imagine getting mugged off by your granddad because, like, you're not good at games. Yeah, I forget where I was even going with that tangent, but... Like, yeah, in terms of the Sabrina stuff, like, yeah, she would turn all the losers into dolls, and it was actually Ash befriending that Haunter that made her laugh that led to him winning that particular gym battle, which was another fucking welfare badge.
What happened to the people who were turned into the dolls?
I think that was forgotten about.
Oh, right, oh.
It's a Pokemon anime, you expect them to actually resolve that shit.
You would think that the police would be on that.
No, the police are too busy doing whatever the fuck they do.
I mean, people who are travelling across the region who end up, unfortunately, happening to lose to Sabrina suddenly vanish.
Well, I suppose worst comes to worst, like, you could end up with a doll's house full of Officer Jenny dolls. If the police were to try anything.
Oh no!
That wouldn't really work.
So, how does she even do it?
Psychic. Psychic is the answer to everything. So, talk about cutting it close with my fucking battle there. Why does she have a whip?
It's best not to ask questions in Pokemon sometimes.
She has a whip. The Team Rockets has a whip. What? This is some... Yes.
So do
Indiana Jones.
So do some tamers.
Well, the tamers, at least it makes sense in context of, you know, they tame their Pokemon. It's like, you know, an animal tamer. They whip the animal just to get into shape, which mileage may vary as to whether that's humane or not, but, like, that's how it works.
So I don't think they've got them anymore in Pokemon.
Well, nah, but... Anyway, we didn't really talk about this gym puzzle. There is thankfully a set route that you can take. If you take that particular route, I think you can actually avoid all the trains if you want to.
Yeah.
Which is always something that I appreciate in games, you know, like not having to fight the fucking in the way ones. But I thought I'd show a few off, given, you know, otherwise this part would be like 5 minutes. So, now we're finished with that gym battle. That's kind of it for Saffron, thankfully. We've been in Saffron for quite a while now. We had the fighting dojo, we had Silphco, and we had the gym. I don't really think there's any other cities or towns that we spend quite as long in, is there?
Not that I remember. I mean, trying to remember the name of the place, but the one with the safari zone.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Oh, Future City, yeah, that... I suppose so, but still, it doesn't feel like it drags on as much as Saffron. But anyway, we'll see you next time where we'll be going toward the Safari Zone, so we'll see you then.